Hey, everybody. Kind of had a thought as I was lying in bed last night that I just kind of wanted to share with you. And, there's a lot of anger, I think, and contempt toward millennials. And I'll be honest, I'm one of them, but I am not the biggest fan of the way that millennials think. With that said, I think they're changing the world. I think they're trying to change the world for the better. So anyway, but what I wanted to talk to you about as far as the millennials go is why I think they'll do a little better than other age groups during this recession that has just started with the caused by the coronavirus. Millennials, I graduated high school in 2008, in June of 2008. I started college at the end of September 2008. Now, anyone who was alive at that time will know that basically the day I started college was when the worst part of the recession hit. I had just come of age. I was 18 years old. And I remember I attended a branch campus, and I was living at that point at home. And so I was driving home from class, one of my first few days of classes, maybe second or third day of college classes. And it was in the evening, and I remember just turning on NPR and hearing them talk about how the markets were every day. I mean, just for over several days. The market crashed again today. And, then we heard about subprime lending and just all kinds of stuff. And this is, of course, when Barack Obama was running for president. And, it got into October. I mean, when a lot of this stuff started happening. But, there, of course, immediately before that, the President Bush and the Congress of that time had signed into law a small stimulus. I think it was about $600-ish, if I remember correctly. I didn't get to benefit from that because I was, I think, still a minor, or I hadn't filed taxes yet, or something. I didn't really make any money in any real money in high school. So we came of age during a time when nobody had any money. I remember houses in the cities, for the most part, inner city type houses, but still, here in Columbus and in Licking County, which is east of here, in Newark, where houses were selling, older houses. Maybe they needed some work, but still, $5,000 to $15,000. I mean, you can go to the ghetto here and get a house for $200,000 if you're lucky. Here in Columbus now, things really bounced back. I mean, it would have been a really good time if you had money to buy a house, I guess. But so, that's the kind of era when millennials came of age, right in the middle of a recession. And so they learned to pinch pennies and to save their money. And I will say many of them are broke right now, probably because of that, and also because probably their parents didn't teach them very good financial methods. But I do think that they're going to fare a little better than a lot of other age groups. The older people, people who are just getting ready to retire, a lot of their money is kind of wiped out, has been affected anyway. Maybe not wiped out, but certainly right after the coronavirus, it was wiped out for a while. But a lot of that stuff's bounced back. Don't know if that's going to be forever. A lot of people don't think so. Some people do. I don't know. I'm not an economist, but it's a scary time for everybody. But I do think that millennials are just going to do better because they learned how to pinch pennies. They're in many ways, I think they're a lot like the generation that was born or grew up in the Great Depression. They don't spend like crazy. They're frugal. I'm frugal. People make fun of me. I still use, so when I was 5 years old, Kind of a funny story. My great-great-grandmother, believe it or not, I knew her. She was alive until I was 14 years old. Wonderful lady. She bought me a brand new, top-of-the-line Apple computer. And along with it, somebody bought, I believe her daughter, my great-grandmother, bought me a desk to go with it. And by the way, it was a very nice Apple computer, but I managed to break that thing within 2 weeks. I was like 5 or 6 years old. So, but the desk that came, that they got me with that computer, I still use it every day to this day. And it was not an expensive desk. It was just a cheap desk, but I like it because it has a place for me to put there's a printer tray down on the bottom, and it has it's wood and particle board, but there's a place for me to put my feet up, which when you have pots, that's a big deal. I used it all through college. I used it through my childhood, and now I am using it as an adult, working with software companies. And people make fun of me for that, and I like lots of table space, and so I've got two one's just a regular table, and one's a folding table over on the sides, kind of surrounding me, so I have more room. And I will not buy some big expensive. I could certainly afford it at this point, but I just won't do it. I like my desk. I don't. It's functional. It works fine, so I don't see any reason to buy a new one. And I think that's maybe not quite to that level, but millennials are much like that. Like they're frugal. So it's kind of interesting, I'm very interested to see how they will fare, versus, other folks, maybe the people who come up under them. I can't think of the name of that generation, but there's another generation now that's coming of age, and also, our parents' generation, the baby boom generation, my parents were Gen Xers. So yeah, it's really interesting. I think they're going to do well, but I'm very interested to see what happens, to see if I'm going to be right. So I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments, and like, subscribe. If you want to, I'd love to talk with you more. Talk to you later. Bye. All right, so our fried chicken is finished. I just pulled it out of the deep fryer a few minutes ago. Well, the second batch, I should say. And I'm about ready to give it a try. But before I do, I just wanted to mention, I forgot in the last part of the video, that you need to leave it in the deep fryer at 375 for about 15 minutes. If you want to be really safe, you could use a meat thermometer, and you want to reach an internal temperature of 175. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that. But all right, let's try a piece. Oh. The skin has a wonderfully strong flavor. You can taste the garlic and the onion powder so much. Not overpowering, just enough. Excellent. All right, that's it for this episode. If you have any questions, comments, or anything at all, just leave it down at the bottom. And until next time, enjoy. Goodbye.